I used to think working out was just good and not bad. It's healthy to go to the gym, right? Everyone talks about how good it is, but lately I've been thinking that the fitness industry and the way we gym is actually more toxic than I once thought. In subtle ways, it can trap you and make you even more miserable and unhealthy than before you started. So let's get into how fitness could be ruining your life. You know, I actually met a girl on a date and I asked her what she does in her free time, what are her hobbies, and she says, I just do my phone. Like, this is a Korean girl who literally said the words, I do my phone. I was like, you know, it's not, but in many ways, can you say something different? Like, the phone could be a hobby, I guess. But most people that are gym-centric, just like people are phone-centric, they just spend their whole time watching gym content, doing gym, and revolving their whole life around it.
What do you do for a living, please? I gym.
You actually see this a lot, especially in young dudes who have found the gym. It's such a great outlet for your testosterone. It's nice to be in there with your friends. It's nice to see your body transform. But quickly what it can become is like the be all and end all for all your problems and anxieties and goals in life. Let's say you don't have a girlfriend. You think getting ripped is going to get your girlfriend. You think that just having a six-pack is going to make you more confident. Like, it starts to take over the mind of the person. I think what's happening nowadays, especially more with the development of the fitness industry and the content creators, is that people are becoming gym centric. They're not exploring other hobbies, they're not exploring their other interests because they're like, oh, I gym. So let's get on to the next point. Gym addiction. You actually use the gym as a crutch to escape the present moment and the anxious feelings that you have. I do this, and this is why I'm able to talk about it. In fact, every point that I make is from personal experience. It's this feeling of, oh, the gym is at least something positive. It's something that I do for my health. It's something that develops me. It's not a waste of time. And what you start to do is rely on gym as that crutch to make you feel like you're going somewhere in life, that you're doing something useful. Let's say there's something that you actually have to do, whether it's something at work, whether it's sorting something out in your relationships, or something that is really in your deepest heart of hearts, something that you should do. But what you do is, you know, I'll do it after the gym. Oh, you know, I'm gonna go to the gym. Gym is addictive. It does produce a lot of dopamine, and when you see yourself progress, it's like super addictive. And I talk about how you need to become addicted to your own progress to really make those wow transformations in the gym. So I'm not saying, you know, being immersed in the gym is bad, but there comes a point, it's a subtle line, where you're actually just super motivated by your progress and you're just churning away, and you're actually addicted in a way that you use it as an escape mechanism to not face the realities of your life. And you want to become more self-aware. Where is this coming from? Are you actually gymming because it's adding to your life, or are you resorting to gym as a way to escape the present moment? Next, when you become gym-centric and gym-addicted, your whole life revolves around the gym. So you start thinking about food and diet as a means to get protein, a means to support muscle growth. You see this in a lot of typical gym bros, always carrying protein shakes, always asking how much protein does this have, always looking out for chicken breast, never able to enjoy a cookie. They wouldn't be able to enjoy a Spanish tortilla because it has a lot of potato and oil, which is too high in calories. I've seen this in myself, so I've seen this in people that are close to me. It's not just like a momentary thing, it actually radically shifts their relationship with food, such that they can no longer look at the same plate of food and be grateful and love it. If I gave you a plate of tomato pasta with no protein, okay, there's some protein in the pasta, but it's just pasta with olive oil, tomato, parmigiano, basil, and you go, this is all carbs, where's the protein? Are you doing that in your brain? Are you able to enjoy the moment? Are you able to let go? Are you able to tell yourself, okay, right now the most important thing is not whether I'm getting 150 grams of protein per day. To be honest, if you're someone that really wants to optimize this part of your life, having the discipline to get the protein and change your diet is a good thing. But again, we have this subtle line where your discipline can turn into an obsession. You start to sacrifice enjoyment of life. And in fact, in the long run, this can damage your sustainability. So be aware of protein obsession and realize that your body is quite wise. You're gonna be able to use protein that you have the next day. So as long as you have a high protein diet in general, which is a healthy thing that I do vouch for, try not to be super obsessive in a way that makes other people uncomfortable. Next, a lot of people, they start to say actually going to the gym made them more self-conscious about their body than before they gymmed. It kind of makes sense because you start to realize that you can actually change your body. This is one of the greatest things, but also one of the saddest things about your body. And also, if you want to get philosophical, about life. Imagine if you really can live whatever life you could live. Just imagine that for a moment. Then suddenly, everything that is currently the case becomes your responsibility. And that kind of is a scary feeling. You can live any life. The reason you live the life you do now is your fault, is your responsibility. That's kind of unsettling. And it's the same thing with the body dysmorphia in the gym. You realize that you can change your body, morph your body, you can get better. So you see all this potential, all this possibility, and the current state, which is not that. Not the perfect body. So you start to see the gap. You're much more conscious of that gap. And so you become more dissatisfied, maybe even more self-critical, even more self-hatred in the worst cases. And this obviously is just making you sadder, more mentally unhealthy. And you actually see a lot of gym bros in this. And a lot of gym bros who started off with the best of intentions to look, you know, fairly good, fairly healthy, they get caught in this loop. They're like, I want to look like this guy. Okay, you look like that guy. What next? Oh, I'm going to look like this guy. I'm going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And what do? They start abusing steroids. They start chasing and chasing and chasing for that moment that never comes. Because it was never about that moment. It was about the journey, about enjoying the journey. The great feeling you get standing winning Mr. Olympia, which I have experience with, is just momentary. It's just a momentary fleeting pleasure that just goes away. It's really about the struggle and the journey. So that's why it's so important to enjoy the process. And body dysmorphia, becoming more self-conscious, is one of those things that's created by gym obsession and the current state of the fitness industry, which is constantly bombarding you with images of what you are not, except they are fabricated images with amazing lighting and pump and all this. But you know that by now, right? Next point, you should actually do the opposite of what a gym bro does if you want to live a healthy, functional life. Because the exercises that you're told to do in the gym by gym bros, by fitness influencers, by bodybuilding magazines, by powerlifters, is these stiff, rigid movements where you're holding a bar and you're grunting and you're pushing. Bench press, squat, deadlift. You develop all kinds of back pain, knee pain, you ruin your joints. And those guys, don't get me wrong, they're super strong, but they don't have a lot of coordination. They don't have a lot of agility. They don't have a lot of sense of fluidity and flow and health. Let's be honest, me and you. When you see a powerlifter that's all bulked up, when you see a bodybuilder like all lean drinking his protein shake, when you see and look into his eyes or look at his body, does he scream health and function to you? Or does he seem overly optimized for this stiff movement or this aesthetic pose? Instead, when you look at athletes that are able to jump off the block, they have that extra little energy about them, and the way their body moves is much more fluid. And this is what you want to develop. You want to develop flow, fluidity, functionality, athleticism in your body, because that's what our bodies were evolved to do. We were not really evolved to lift 500 kilograms with our shoulders. There are smarter ways to lift 500 kilograms. Now, of course, I don't want to shit on bodybuilding and powerlifting and all this kind of stuff, but what I am going to say is that the gym bro obsession has created stiff bodies, and if you're a smart guy, you don't need to sign up to that agenda, and you can create a more functional, athletic body for yourself. If you want me to guide you in that journey, then check out Minimalist Training Club, where I teach guys how to become aesthetic, functional, and athletic. So links below. Next point. The next way fitness can ruin your life is that you start to develop this gym bro personality. And this is a kind of stereotype, I must admit, but I need to mention it nevertheless. These gym bros always talk about the gym. They don't really have much of a personality outside of it. They're always talking about optimizing this and that and the form, and then it's leg day, and then it's back day, and then it's bench press, and then it's squats, and then you got to me, on some level, it's a bit silly to lift heavy things up and down. And if you want to get even more dark about this, it's in a way to channel masculine aggression in society. We don't want the masculine aggression to be channeled channeled into revolution, into societal unrest. So what do? We put them in confined walls. We tell them, do this exercise, look like this, go for 500 kilograms, injure yourself, move like this. And all these dudes, me and you included, we're going in there grunting, like using our testosterone and aggression in a socially acceptable, conventional way within these walls, so that we shut the hell up, never question the society that we live in, and we just remain docile. And meanwhile, you have all these like replicated AI gym bros just bicep curling themselves to death. And you look at this some days, you're like, what is going on? What happened to fluid movement? What happened to being awakened and thinking about bigger things than the gym? What happened to developing other skills and sensitivities in life? This is what I mean by gym bro personality. You don't want to become this one-dimensional gym-obsessed creature without seeing the bigger picture. Next is it creates a false sense of safety. We get this because we're told so many times, oh, hit the gym, oh, gym's so good. And I'm guilty of this too. I keep telling yourself muscle mass and lower body fat is healthy for you, which it is. But I just showed you how in all these ways, in terms of mental and physical health, it can also have the other effect. You have to be able to hold these two truths at once that seem on the surface contradictory, but are nuanced. Here's the thing, what gym does is it gives you a false sense of security and safety that you're doing something healthy, so you must be healthy. You could be the healthiest guy in the gym, but maybe you have cancer. Maybe you have chronic back pain developing. Maybe you have tennis elbows, neck pain. I don't mean to freak you out. The way in which our society is designed, with processed food, with all these sugars, all these plastics, all these dopamine addiction screens and everything, it's really not making you healthy right now. If anything, there's so many spikes that you can get stabbed by that is attacking your health. And don't be lured into this false sense of safety just because you go to the gym that you're healthy. You want to be awake. You want to take other things into account, like what you're eating, like what the packaging is on the food that you take, so that you develop this sensitivity and awareness to overall health that you need to take care of, not just in the gym, but outside the gym. And ask yourself, who wants you to think in that simplistic manner where all you think is, oh, I go to the gym so I'm healthy, so I'm just going to keep eating this? It's not in your interest. It's time to wake up. If you want to share these ideas, if you want to talk about these and really transform your body towards a healthier, more aesthetic, more lean, more athletic direction, then check out the link below. Join my community. I'm going to coach you with everything I got. Hope to see you there. Bye bye.